I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, you got it going?
You had a chance to read up the minutes. I'll make a motion to approve minutes from last month.
I second it.
Motion's been made and seconded. We have discussion. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Minutes are approved for last month. Financial report.
I do not have a full report prepared. Missing deposits, I haven't got it completed based on what we've got. I will give you an idea though. The general fund, we did take in $33,000, but that includes donations. It also includes fire territory and so forth. So total between those funds, we took in $33,000. Approximate ending balances, I'll run through that. $166,000 in the general fund. That'll be higher, obviously, based on. I do have the disbursements, I just don't have the receipts. So anything I tell you is probably going to be higher. Motor vehicle highway, $16,800 and some change. Local road and street, $16,500. Local law and continuing ed, $10,700. Community or capital, cumulative capital improvements, $14,100. Rainy day fund, $3,700. Riverboat, $19,000. Cable franchise, $27,000. Fire protection, general fund there, $206,000. Equipment replacement, $171,000. Ambulance donation, $15,000. Fire donations, $15,500. Sewer fund, $78,500. Sewer depreciation, $5,100. Sewer bond and interest, $2278. Police equipment fund, $14,700. Community building fund, $477. Park donations, $18,490. Food and beverage Memorial Square, $5,800, and food and beverage town hall, $2,800. So total assets between all funds, $810,819, excluding $33,000 in other deposits that we had. So I just didn't want to give you a handout that wasn't properly noted with deposits.
So it sounds like we're not hurting in any one of them.
No, we're financially stable and strong. So.
Okay.
Mark, have you heard any word from Nikki or anything on the budget potentially meetings? And
tentatively right now we've got it set for 9/14 and 9/28. 9/14 is not going to work for me. Also, I'll bring that up now to look at the October meeting. I'm going to be unavailable that week. I've got meetings every night that week of the 12th. So if we could move I'm hoping to move it to the 5th. So go back to the 1st of the month to have our normal board meeting and to have the first budget meeting.
that's for the October.
Yeah, that'd be for October. So if you guys can confirm that would be okay with you, we'll get that advertised.
What night did you say, Mark?
It's a Monday. It's the first Monday
October
of the month.
5th.
October 5th.
That would be the first Monday instead of the second Monday in October
And that's for what?
for our regular town board meeting.
Okay.
He can't be here the next week. The week of the 12th, that would be our normal
That's fine.
meeting.
And what days you want to go to?
October 5th.
October 5th, which would be the Monday before.
First one.
The first Monday, right?
That's good with me.
Is that okay with you, darling? We need a motion to change that date to March or?
Motion's not going to hurt anything, yeah.
Okay, I'll just make a motion, we change the October meeting to the 5th to, so Mark can attend the other budget meetings.
I second.
Motion's been made and seconded to change the October meeting to the 5th rather than the usual, what would have been the 12th. And then discussion?
Be sure to get that down, Judy.
Yes, it'll be the first Monday. Those in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, likewise. Motion carries. Town Marshal report.
Last month, we had 354 hours total. We did a VIN check, gun permit, 1 trouble with, 2 call-outs, 5 citations, 13 verbal warnings, 2 possible drunk drivers, 1 suicide attempt, 1 warrant was served, and 1 standby. The mileage for vehicle number 1, 597 miles driven, for a total of 44.36 gallons used. 566 miles on vehicle 2, which is Crown Victoria, and 32 gallons used. Also, you will find attached to your report on the back, there is a thing we're looking at for the dog problem around here with the Humane Society, contract with them. Let's take a look at that. Let's see if maybe we could enter into that contract.
Let's get into that discussion right now, Kevin. A couple of weeks ago, we had 2 or 3 dogs that had to be caught and taken care of. I believe you took them to Anderson, did you not, Kevin?
Yes, we did.
And did not that cost like $145, $50 a dog?
It's $150 a dog.
$150 a dog. When we take a stray to Anderson, it's $150 a dog. There were 2 of them that day, so they went $300 real quick. And it's kind of common here in town. People bring their pets out here and they drop them off. I had tried several times to contact the Anderson Humane Society and they did not respond. Kevin contacted the Newcastle, is that not correct? And what did you find out from them?
It's $75 an animal if we take it over there, and Rex helped me on the numbers. What was it if they come and get it, remember?
145, I believe, something like that.
If they have to come and get it.
If you have a bite or a savage dog situation, or a dog that the normal officer cannot handle, then they will come over, do the reports, take care of the situation. If it's a bite situation, they will issue the bite reports, which is required by state law, and also the hospitalization reports, that kind of thing, which handles the whole case for a bite situation.
So if we take them over, it's $75, and if they come over, it's $145, and they take care of the paperwork.
That's correct, and collect the animal and return it back to the Humane Society. If it needs to be quarantined, it'll be quarantined, and so on and so forth, per IC state code law.
What's legal think about this?
We just need to figure out the best economical solution.
I think it's rather obvious. Discussion?
Can we try to find somebody in Anderson that would talk to them and see what they come up with? I know you said you tried to call the Humane Society, but
There's only the one facility, is there not, Kevin? Is there 2?
it's 2 in Anderson.
One's Humane Society, one's the, right on 8th. Just the animal.
Yeah,
city
what's
animal
the
shelter,
one on
that's
out
Street.
by 8th and Rabel or something like that?
That'd be, yeah.
Okay.
And then there's one more on the east side that's the actual Humane Society. I don't know exactly the address, but I know it's further east.
Christopher Street.
Yeah.
Well, let's do this then. Let's table the action until next month to find out what the prices are.
What's the other thing? What's the car like?
I have no idea, didn't call them.
I might add that there is no county dog catcher.
Yeah, that went. years
One
ago.
of the county officers has the equipment to take care of a vicious dog if need be, if she's on duty.
So do you. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
But there again, it's still gonna cost us $150 right now to
Yeah.
get the animal.
Yeah.
That's if we take it up there.
That's if we take it up there. Or if Deputy Locke comes out with a vicious animal and corrals it, it's still gonna cost us $150 to take the animal in.
Deputy Locke has that equipment, so do I, because I am the certified criminal protector of animals in Henry County. So I have these catch poles, so on and so forth.
What's, you say you're Henry, John?
I work quite closely with the Humane Society over there. But I do that as per the sheriff's department. I am not necessarily part of the Humane Society because I do the investigations on large animals as well as bite cases, things like that.
Allison, I know you and Jennifer are just trying to
Bob, what are you tearing up?
turn up the wall. But have you got any idea what they charge, or if you take an animal up there, like that Malia Stringer outfit, you know what I'm talking
Yeah, I
about?
know what you're talking about, but I don't know.
If you, or have someone look into this, you might check with Dr. Chesterfield Animal Clinic.
Or Dr.
Baker.
Baker?
I know my dog got hit, took him there and he fixed her
Jennifer, my daughter.
and I bought his rescue.
She keeps me
But,
to
and they may be able to handle, that kind of.
Who'd you, I'm sorry, John, who'd you say?
Dr. Baker.
Dr. Baker and Chesterfield.
I can get a hold of him, I
Yeah.
got their number.
I'll get Jennifer on
I'll check her
that.
out.
She's a doctor law and dogs and set and all that stuff, you know, so I'll get her, I'll try to have some prices for her.
Okay. We'll table that until the next meeting
I
and make the
don't
decision
think they're
then.
gonna beat them prices at Newcastle, but we will get them, we'll
Yeah.
know then.
Yeah.
I'll find that out.
Street report, is there anything, did you get any idea of what they're gonna do on the signs? Or timetable?
No, I don't have a timetable. All I know is that they are per law or whatever is a new sign requirement for the reflections. And there will be no cost to the town that they will come and put them all up.
Can you close that blind, Sam? One of you back there? Yeah, thank you very much. Reflection was coming right in my eyes.
But the Indiana Department of Transportation will be overseeing that.
My dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that company, BF&S,
Down in Indy.
they supervise them when they do the signs. They don't have to change any right-of-ways. They just are putting up new signs, all the street signs.
We had another cave-in out on, what's your drive out the road going into your house, Doug?
It's all Lick Creek Drive.
Lick Creek Drive, where the bridge crossed the stream there between the stream and the first pond. The road started to cave in, and it was about 1.5 feet, 2 foot deep, and we got that fixed. Yeah, Sam?
What is 138 million fixed?
The state has that. I was out there and met with them. They said they were going to get right on it. They had their people out there, the whole 9 yards. That was 10 days ago. Well, a week ago. Yeah, a week ago.
Is that the one, is that the area where the sewer was broke?
Yes. The state said they were gonna take it and they were gonna fix it, and this one girl that is in charge of this area was told by the regional person to get it fixed, and it's the last I heard. But they are aware of it, county's aware of it, state's aware of it. You know how that works. Sewer report. I got a question. Are most of you here to talk about the sewer? No? Okay. Because I was going to reverse it order, but if you're not. We talked about the problems with the sewer last month. The sewer's breaking down, is what it amounts to. I don't have a crystal ball where I can get an answer from. The amount of debt that is yet to be retired is like $250,000. The structure of the cylinders forming the fiberglass tube growing in the ground is starting to decay. That was what happened with Skips. It was yours. What?
You know my name?
No. Chip. I'm sorry. No, I'm not certain. Chip?
Yes.
Okay, I apologize. The side of his fiberglass started to wear apart. Which what took so long with his, because the part had to be fabricated. And this is going to start continuing. More pumps are going out, more motors are going out, and the time required in order to cover the cost associated with repair before the debt is paid, I have no idea what to do. The main lift stations I had looked at about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. One of them is starting to decay. There's going to go another $15,000 to $20,000 to resurface just the one. Yes, sir.
We looked at the lift stations,
SOS.
and didn't we talk about that one a couple of years ago we came? You're talking about the one at the school, right?
Yes.
And needed a foam put around it,
It needed a what?
a foam substance put inside the tank, and that was.
Yes,
corrosion.
they said they were going to, the cost was to line that with whatever it is, a foam or material
Are
or
we
tar.
running sulfate right now?
Pardon me?
Are we running sulfate right now?
I have no idea.
You might want to look at the contract with Fall Creek, because we're supposed to be in the summer.
Sulfate in what?
In the sewer, that helps keep the corrosion down.
Oh, okay.
109 and 38. And is somebody pumping those down once a week at the school?
Not to my knowledge. Contacted with SOS. I don't want to speculate. They said it didn't need to be done. It was my understanding like twice to 3 times a year. I don't know. I'll check on the sulfate.
And I got another question too.
Sure.
How many of these lift stations are you saying are corroding away the fiberglass?
The one is what he made mention of, that it's going to start needing attention before too many more years.
So one out of the 200 or whatever we have?
Oh, no, I thought you were talking about the big stations,
No.
lift stations. No, the small ones, I have no idea. I know that in the last 3-4 months,
Bill for them?
pardon me,
Who fixes them right now?
Jerry's.
Jerry? then how many of those have been broke like chips?
There's chips, and there was one other that had, who was it? Who was it? Can't think of it right now, but one other that's got the fiberglass starting. This was back earlier
So
on.
that's 200 out of, or that's 2 of them out of 200 and something.
Yep. And your point's well taken. And the point is to get ahead of the power curve, not behind it. And the fiberglass is starting to wear. Too. When I say wear, it's not, I mean, it just frazzles is what it does. So, yes, your point is correct. 2 is the number right now, but it's 2 in the last 6 months. And kind of sounds like it's a trend that we need to be prepared for rather than hindsight. Another question?
You know how many lift stations we have right now?
You mean the big ones or
The big
small
ones.
ones?
The big lift stations, the 2, 7 horse, the 25.
Out here, over at 109 and 38, and then over at school. Yeah.
Those have only been looked at one time.
They're due again. Yes, one time is what they've had so far.
You know if the one goes out at 109 and 38, or the school lift station goes out, it completely shuts this town down. And that pipe between the two
Yeah.
runs 2 miles between 109 and the school. That goes septic without sulfate running through it.
We'll check on it. We'll check on it, that's all I can say. What it amounts to, folks, is I'll sure listen to anything any of you got to say. Because we've got to get ahead of the curve. If we're starting to have major failures, we need ideas of the plans we can exercise, whether it's this board, the next board, or 2 boards on down. Because we're getting behind the power curve on money. Money to the date when that debt can be retired. So if you have an idea, let one of the board members know, call me. Yes, please.
It's my understanding that there is no particular person employed by the town taking care of or watching over, is the best way I can think of it, the sewer system as a whole, right?
Just me.
Other than,
Yeah. And what I do is call Fredericks.
That was what I was gonna bring up tonight, is I think we need to get someone in here, at least part-time or something, that can field these questions and get stuff going.
I agree, I think Sam brought some really good points that maybe
Sure,
we didn't
yeah.
all know, and maybe we need somebody that knows those small, intricate details.
I don't disagree with that at all.
Do we have to advertise for that?
That's a job. Yes, you have to advertise for it.
Lance,
Yes.
are we not even looking into Sam resigned from that position? Are we not even looking to replace him?
The original intention was to see what the cost difference would be between having an employee and merely turning it all over to Fredericks. Josh Key is certified in the sewer repairs, and the way it looks now, I was crunching the numbers last week. It's, as far as a dollar and cent decision, it makes no difference. I mean, it's within $100 one way or another.
But I think that Sam was doing, the sewer manager, or whatever we're gonna call him, was going out there once a week or once every 2 or 3 days. I don't know what it was. But Jerry isn't gonna send somebody over there once every 2 or 3 days, right?
I wouldn't think so, no.
And so if that needs to be done, I mean, it looks to me like it's, if we're talking about the sewer problem that we're gonna have, we should get on with moving forward with it before some of these other things like Sam was talking about comes to fruition. So, I mean, this.
I don't disagree. And if that's, I mean, what do you guys think?
Well, I think they will if we ask them to, won't they?
Yeah?
But they're gonna charge an arm and a leg to do it too.
Sure. Well,
It would
it
be
ain't gonna be done for nothing. Anybody.
Well, yeah, but if we have an employee that can do it, it's gonna be a lot cheaper than having them come out.
Don't you have to pay them an hourly labor rate?
Yeah, kind of. They're very favorable and kind to the hours they bill.
What is it?
Pardon me?
What is it?
It's about $135 an hour.
And how much you pay Sam an hour?
Sam was at, what was it, 10,000 a year?
It'd
Yeah.
be cheaper to hire someone to oversee the sewer system.
You paid him over.
Well, the problem is the big jobs we've been paying Fredericks, like going under the highway and that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah.
We ought to get
But
them to do
still-
that anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, you know, we don't have a town ditch
They're always
digger.
gonna have those
Yeah.
situations, but we
Yeah.
need somebody to do the main.
Preventative. So it was a yearly thing on Sam, it's an hourly thing on Fredericks. So he didn't get the bill on the hour, right? He was a fixed cost, right?
True.
Because if he billed you on the hour, you guys would have to get a loan.
Well, that would,
Because he spent way more time. I mean, if you needed it fixed, he was there. And now, I waited 3 months. If he was working it, it would have been fixed. That's not an opinion, that's a factual statement.
But here again, you're talking about something that's already happened in the past. We need to move forward from
And
this
that's
point.
what
Well, does anybody around here know someone who knows these systems as well as he does? Anybody?
Oh, there's several people.
Who?
There are people down, there's, what's the guy down in Fortville? There's
Oh,
one in
yeah.
Pendleton.
Rick Turner.
That want to come here and be an employee at Markleville?
Oh, I have no idea, I haven't
Well,
asked.
that's what he's asking, he's
Huh?
talking about.
Okay. I don't think you're gonna find it, but good luck in that one.
Yes, Bob?
How many people have you interviewed for a job of that description to maintain the sewer department?
None at this point.
We
And I mean-
haven't voted on
It's
it.
about time.
What do you think?
I think I need to make a motion that we look for somebody to oversee the maintenance of the sewer system as an employee of the town. That can go out and do what Sam did. But for the bigger issues, we'd still have to get a hold of Jerry or somebody that would be able to go under the road.
Well, yeah, the guy I call is Smith, Brandon Smith, and he works for Fredericks. But I mean, I thought that was about the same. I mean, cost wise and fixed time wise and everything was about the same.
Well,
I don't know.
I think it's time I report a little something here.
Mark would probably know more about that than that.
Bear with me a second. Can't find it. Your case, Chip, was rare and singular, and there's no question it was too long. Bear up a minute. Mike Calvert had a sewer problem fixed in 21 hours. Betty Fessmeyer, 1 day. Jim Orr, just this morning, less than 4 hours. Jones, Ken Jones, down there behind the, on North Street, 1 day. Mr. Shelton over here on Maple Street, although Sheltons are not on the town's plan. They didn't know what they were to do. We were on that within 1 day. Joe Willis out here took one day over the weekend. Man over here across from Crows, by the time he finally got some way to get to me. I don't know how he didn't know who to contact, but he didn't. We had him taken care in 30 hours. Kelly out here lives on the corner of over 38 and Dennis. She had a rather unique problem, but we still got her taken care of and she's happy. Now what I'm trying to say is that not everybody's unhappy. You have total right to be unhappy, but I don't know what we could have done different that would have made it better.
Leveling 2 foot of dirt would help.
Pardon me?
Leveling 2 foot of dirt would help.
Just a minute, Linda. I'll talk to him.
I appreciate it.
Not a problem. Linda, you had your hand up first.
Yeah, what Chip just mentioned, they need that done down at Gimley's too, because it's a mess down there. Big rut. But I
Ginley's
believe-
back behind the house, the two-story house?
Yeah.
Okay.
They left a mess back there. And also with all the jobs that have recently been done,
Mm-hmm.
the town is paying them $100 and some an hour to do all these repairs.
It depends on what they're doing.
Might
Yeah,
I
Matt.
say something, Landis?
Sure.
To everyone that is complaining about the sewer system, I'll just have you know, mine went out last year, my pump went out. I had to fix it myself. I don't have a warranty, okay? I did it myself. I paid for it myself. I didn't wait for someone to do something for me. And I didn't complain about what was done for me that cost me nothing. I own my home. I also own every other appliance in my home. I'm responsible to take care of that as a homeowner. How many in here are homeowners? If your roof goes bad, is there somebody that's going to come out and do that for you for nothing?
That's the deal.
It's in the
If your furnace goes out,
We have a warranty
did you
if our
call
sewer
the-
goes out.
Okay, I get that.
Turn it into an argument.
He's speaking.
What I'm getting at is it's not costing.
That's it. The next comment, you're taking the ride. I will point to who's talking. They will have the floor. Give them the respect they deserve, and we will give the respect to whoever has the floor. Please.
If it's not costing you anything, you have to have some burden of responsibility, at least to have some patience to wait for it to be done. And let's be reasonable, okay? Chip, the problem that you had, Landis has identified. You were one of 2 that had that problem out of 200. Sam helped bring that to light. We had over 200 in this town, and 2 of those have had that problem. That's a unique situation, right?
Yeah.
That's right, and we haven't had to deal with that before. So they had to come up with a solution to fix that problem. Now I'm sure because of that, if someone else were to have that in the future, it might not be as long of a wait. Because there's been a process outlined to take care of the next one. Well, let's all stop the griping and moaning, and let's start coming together as a town, and let's be reasonable with our expectations, can we? Instead of serving an agenda, let's make that for all of us instead of a few. Okay? Thank you for your time.
Just a minute, Bob. Ralph, you had a question next.
How much did Mike Ernst cost us before he decided to leave town? 4 pumps in 3 months? You know, have we got somebody that's actually taking care of the problems? Or we got somebody that's just band-aiding it a little bit and then it falls apart again, they gotta come back out and do it all over again? Go to my next door neighbor, ask them. $2,200 since the first of the year. They've been out there 5 times to try to fix their sewer. They're not sure it's fixed yet.
Your next door neighbor, North?
No.
Oh, Kurt?
Mary B's old place.
Kurt? Mhm.
They don't,
$2,200 since the first of the year they've had.
they're paying for their own now.
That's
Yes, they
right.
are.
And they're
So
using
who
the
have they been getting to
recommended by
fix
the
it? I
town.
mean,
They're using the same guy that you're talking about, Smitty, recommended by the town, and it's cost them $2,200, and they've been out there 5 times trying to fix that sewer. Now, are we really working at saving money with this sewer business, or what are we doing? We seem to be feeding a lot of money into Fredericks, that's for sure. You know, 3, 4, 5 pumps at Mike Ernst before he moved out, and we don't know whether that's fixed right now or not, because he moved out. It's not being used. My neighbors, the most recent time was about 3 weeks ago. It usually lasts 4 or 5 weeks, but that's about as long as it'll last.
Well, I don't know how we got
Fixing, or
5
are we just
pumps.
Band-Aids?
I don't know how we got 5 pumps in Mike Ernst, because since the first year, we've only had 4.
Mike told us they put 4 pumps in his.
On telling you what we had at the start of the year. 4.
Like, actually, guys, I think that's kind of immaterial. I think we need to find out what we're going to do. And it's pretty obvious if they're taking 4 or 5 pumps over there, we've got something the matter with the system. And that's what the original talk was about anyway. Let's get this system fixed. You know, what happened in the past, we can't change that.
Are we sure the people we're using know how to fix it?
I would say any suggestions. Who works on them? I can call this Rick Turner down Greenfield. He works on them. I know Fredericks works on the ones for Fall Creek Concert, or the other group.
Regional Waste.
Regional Waste, Fall Creek Regional. I know they do all theirs.
They don't do all of them.
Well, I don't mean all of them, sure.
Because they've got their own crews that do all those now. Everybody got a few.
But I'm sure that Fredericks does work for him. Believe, I know that because he done my brother-in-law's. That's what I'm trying to say. But no, somebody's got an eye. Tell me somebody can fix them.
Well,
John?
you know, first of all, you got a motion on the table there, but I have to agree with Darlene. I think, if nothing else, you're talking preventive maintenance. Fredericks don't care about the future of the sewer. You know, if they fix more, they make more. I think they need somebody in charge of the sewer system who will make sure that the sulfates run through like it should be, and things are at every day. And you can even advertise a person for a person. I think we need somebody locally in charge.
But there again, if we get the best guy in the world, John, we've still got an old, out-aged sewer system. I mean, that would fix this problem for now, but we've got to do something, you know. You and I talked about this years ago.
I realize that. But, I mean, you got to start somewhere, and then, you know. I mean, we're damaging it more than we're doing.
Sure.
Sounds like we are right now.
We got Allison, Marcia, and then Bob. You had a question?
We've been using Fredericks for a while though. That's not recent, right?
Correct.
Oh, yeah, we've been
Because
driving
they
it.
did grandma's and she's
Years.
still alive, so it's been at least.
They've been doing it for years, all the heavy digging and all that
That's what I
stuff.
thought. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Marcia?
As far as table, like what you suggested on hiring somebody, we have to have, the system is failing us. But we just can't sit here and say our system's failing us and call Fredericks and whoever to fix it. We need somebody right now to maintain what's breaking and try to minimize that massive break, such as Chip had it down for 3 months. I mean, we have to have that for this town. Ultimate goal, we need to figure out a solution of our debt that we have and come up with a new solution for a sewer system. I totally agree with that. But let's live in the moment to get that long-term goal. We gotta baby step it, so we need someone who's knowledgeable to maintain what we have. And we go at a smaller level before we get to major goals.
Well, I agree with that. I think that report he gave there, the longest was 1 day to get one fixed, which, that's not too
Vote on it and
bad.
put an ad in the paper for a position for that job.
Then how we know he knows how to do it, I mean,
Well, they're gonna have to show certification. They're gonna have to be responsible to show what they can do.
So if you do that,
If we add
and you pay them the
References,
position.
Hold on, she has before.
you know, references, background checks, personal references, clients, I mean, that's any business.
Yeah.
Any business, you hire a new employee, That's just what you do.
They're gonna have to give
And
us
if
a
they're
resume.
I'm not sure
qualified-
anybody else has got a system like ours around here that you could go by.
I think ours is so old, I don't think anybody else has it
I
either.
don't either.
But that's the only way you're gonna know is
Yeah.
to try. And you have to try, or else we're gonna have major problems.
Do you know how many crews Pendleton has, Jack?
I know how many what?
Crews they have, aren't you on the board down there still?
Yes,
Yeah.
Fall Creek.
Yeah. Would they be interested in taking care of this? Since
No.
they would be the knowledgeable
I'm
ones.
only one person on the board, but no.
Okay,
I think I can answer that pretty quickly.
okay.
There's way too much, you mean as on a contract to repair?
To do the maintenance as it comes up.
And I don't think so, because this maintenance is pretty far behind, and I don't think. they
When you
wanna
say
pick
this
something
maintenance, are
up.
you referring to ours or the total program, both?
Right
places?
here, no,
Okay,
Markleville.
okay.
Right now, you know, a couple of years ago, maybe, but, no, their employees work strictly for them, and they're not doing outside
Okay.
things. They have, I believe, right now, 43 employees.
In the sewer department for the waste?
For Fall Creek Regional Waste.
Yeah.
That includes plant operators and
Yeah, yeah. The whole 9 yards.
lab people and everything else.
Right. Okay. Just a minute. Bob, you were next.
Okay.
Are you finished, Marcia?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
Bob?
A couple of questions come to mind when you talk about this. I hear a lot of, well, it's an old system and it's gonna have to be replaced. That may be legitimate. Do you know that? Have you had an expert surveil? How can you make a judgment call like that until you've had that done? And then what would be the cost of replacing it? As far as some of the earlier comments, a lot of us are grandfathered in because I had a brand new septic system and I had to pay $400 to hook up to your system. My septic system worked. A lot of the places up around here didn't even have a septic system. I didn't get any compensation for my septic system being abandoned. I think you ought to find out what the state of the septic system is, and then you can form an opinion or a plan that makes some sense to try to address it. Everybody's wanting to, well, let's just do something new. Something new is gonna cost a bunch of money. That's it.
Okay. Jack?
Off of the repair issue, this system was put in what, 25 years ago or what?
25 years ago.
Okay.
1990.
What was the expenditure to the town at that time? What was the debt?
What was it? $750,000, something like that, wasn't it?
I don't know, I wasn't there. That's before my time. I mean, not before my time, before my time here.
I was saying,
Okay.
you're old as dirt.
I guess
I was
my
thinking-
question,
I don't
over 25 years, we still owe $250,000 on a sewer system.
That's right.
Why has this not been paid down? I mean, what's the projected date, the payoff date?
40-year note.
It's a 40-year note.
29, didn't it, Mark?
Yeah.
It was signed off for 29, I'm pretty sure.
Then if it's been
29.
in 25 years, that means in 4 years, we're gonna pay $250,000?
No, not 4
15
years,
years.
2029.
Oh, the year 2020.
Yeah, 15 more
I'm sorry.
years.
I thought you
15
said-
more years, be 40-year note. That was done narrow again a long time before any of us was. And there's not much we can do about it, I don't think.
Were these, the sewer that was put in 25 years ago, that was the same as what Pendleton had at that time, is that correct?
I don't know on that.
But Pendleton has updated all their sewer systems
They're up
since,
annually, yes.
and we never did.
Yes. We had the same system.
Okay, I thought we did, but now this is so old that we're not able to get a lot of people to work on it because it's so old and the parts are obsolete.
They may be obsolete, but they're certainly something available because a lot of
Yeah.
people are using a pressure system. Pendleton doesn't. Most of theirs is gravity. I think there's some pressure over there. And there's some on Fall Creek that are pressure. Of course, Pendleton goes into Fall Creek.
Do we still not go into Fall Creek? We still do.
We have, Markleville is the only wholesale, so to speak, customer that Fall Creek has. You have your own system, but it goes into Fall Creek for the treatment. All the others just are Fall Creek customer and go in. But the town is, not the individuals, the town is. And as a consequence, I think you're getting probably a little better rate. And I don't believe it's been raised in a few years.
When was the last time it was raised, Mark? Do you know?
I believe they raised it this year. What, this year was late last year?
There was a across-the-board raise this year, but I didn't think it included.
It affected us.
It did affect you.
Oh, match it, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just was curious if you go the route and employ somebody part-time, the figure you gave of $10,000 is less than $200 a week. So you're probably gonna get somebody but 1 day a week to come out here and work on.
I was considering part-time 20 hours a week.
24/7.
So then you're gonna spend more than $10,000.
I
If you're gonna
I didn't
define
throw
hours.
10,000 out there, so I wasn't thinking that. We had-
Well, when
But that's
the
what I
deci-
guess what they
Well,
were saying,
what's
but-
at hand is what was paid versus what's being paid now for the things being the way they are. And obviously you're not gonna do both, right? That's what the decision is.
Yeah.
So if you hire somebody, then you're not using Jerry's anymore.
No, we'd still have
And
to
it's
You
use,
still have to use Jerry on certain occurrences.
Okay. So it's not one or the other, it's both.
but, yeah,
Basically,
it was both before too.
yeah. It's been both for
Mhm.
years, forever.
Okay, so then, I guess then naturally my next question is, that's only to do maintenance for what? People who are grandfathered in under a warranty? And a little bit of maintenance for the system?
Right.
And are there a difference in rates for those grandfathered in and those not?
No.
No,
Just more benefit for those grandfathered in than there are those not?
correct.
Okay.
That was going to be one of the things I wanted to throw out on the floor tonight, was to let us, as we go into the budget process with Nikki and the people down there, to raise the rate and stay like we are, or lower the rate by the same amount. I was thinking the neighborhood of 25%, and then let everybody have their own system, and the town go clear out of the sewer business, and let everybody have their own system. I think, Mark, did you say it's about half and half now? 100 some, 200 some on the system, about half of them are grandfathered out.
Oh, it's still probably more than half.
Is it?
Probably.
I don't know. Of course, we'd have to go all the numbers, but, yeah.
You can't really go out of the sewer business because who's gonna be here to maintain the main pumps and get it to Pendleton?
Well, you,
Well, I mean,
no, well, yeah, you're a plumber, you could get that.
well, yeah, I could, but I'm not.
Okay.
What I mean is, you can never go out of the sewer business.
Well, the day-to-day sewer business, let me put it like that.
Well, but somebody has to be there to do preventative maintenance though. Isn't that right?
Remember we talked about that?
Yes.
Somebody needs to be out there checking these pumps, because if that line goes septic, like Sam just mentioned, we're done. And so somebody needs to be out there doing the things that needs to be done, which is not at $135 an hour, it's $12 an hour or whatever.
Well, the town could hire Fredericks 3 times a year to go out there and check it. I don't know.
I'll be on
I'm
the,
just throwing ideas out there.
Well,
Yeah.
it needs checked more than 3 times a
Or
year.
10 times a year. I
according
don't know how many times a year, but.
to- You did it weekly?
And anyway, we can hire somebody to do that, then that would be better than the day-to-day hiring somebody, wouldn't it?
Is there any companies like this SOS that do municipality contracts where they?
that's
come out-
just what I was getting ready to say. I will be on the phone to those guys tomorrow morning in the bright and early and find out the particulars of this sulfur process and the
You
maintenance.
can't be the only community around here that's on force systems like we are, and there has to be someone, SOS, that will do a municipality.
Contract.
Maybe it's gonna cost you more than $10,000 a year. But somebody needs to be maintaining this stuff.
I'll find out tomorrow morning.
That's on a day-to-day basis, so like I said, hash that without 20 times. What is somebody's idea on what to do about from this point on? To stay like we are? Or, you know, I haven't heard anybody.
I would rather my sewer bill go up and stay the way we are is what I would go the other direction. If it helps finance the thing long-term to get it paid for.
Right now, and Matt brought up a good point, right now, let's use 50% as a number of our people that are on this sewer system pay their own bill. And 50%, because they were here when this was put in, don't have to pay their own bill, the town pays their bill. So we've got an unfair system anyway.
Okay, so maybe you raise the rates for the people that are still grandfathered in. Leave everybody else's alone. I would think
That might be an idea.
That's a good idea.
That might be an idea. That's,
What do you think about
Scott?
hooking up to your old sewer system? You guys gonna raise the bill sky high, we can't pay it, what are we gonna do? How high you plan on raising this, Bob? What's your plan?
I said we're using a number of 10%,
Well, how
Scott,
many people pay it now?
up or down, just as something to go by.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be $10. We pay 41, so let's say 10 up or 10 down. That's,
Get that figured out, 'cause my sewer system was fine when I moved in. Right, Bob?
But if we raise it so high, how many people are paying it now? How many people pay
Hold
it?
on just a minute, just a minute. Whoa. You through, Scott?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, thank you. Well,
Mark, how many people are paying their bill now? So if we raise it so much more, how many more people are not gonna pay their bill?
that's a good question, yeah. That's the reason why the thought
That's
of
probably why.
letting everybody take care of their own sewer system like Matt that said he done, or whatever, just be like your washing machine or your furnace or something go out, you would have to pay for it, whatever it cost. That's the other idea, you know, that's a good point.
Scott, it was a legal issue with the EPA or whoever that we had to hook up into
I
the,
remember Mr. Johnson, they threatened him from doing his house unless he hooked up. And it also was supposed to stay low. Higher and higher, every year.
well, and a lot of that could be from Fall Creek Regional Waste raising their rates.
Anyway, we just need to get fixed.
I don't know what their rates are, I don't have any idea, but Jack, if somebody's system goes out that's like us, and I know there's some like ours around, do they have to pay for their own? Does Fall Creek pay for it?
Fall Creek doesn't pay for them. I don't think there's.
So everybody
anybody-
pays for their own. That's
Yes, they pay for their own.
On their grinder, yeah.
May I for just a minute?
hold on. Danny, you had a question?
I didn't catch everything, so I'm just kind of double checking. Jack, you said that Fall Creek raised their rates this year?
Yes.
Did our sewer bills go up this year?
no. We absorb that.
So the town takes the extra cost of that?
Yeah, the town eat that cost, right?
I think the rates were raised, I forget exactly
increase, but something come because the reform, I represent the state on that with the correctional facilities. I do not, I'm not a board member for Markleville on that board, but 7% comes to mind, and that may have been what the state was, and 3 for the others or something. It was higher for the state, I know that.
Man, many hands.
And there's, yeah, there's also a, there was an increase also in the breakdown of the solids, but that does not affect Markleville.
Well, I assume
Because they're not even tested here. It doesn't get this.
I assume just like everything else, I know with the trade I'm in, when gas goes up, our rates go up, compensate because we travel across the state. So
yeah,
I'm sure consumable costs change your guys' that industry as well. So.
And Markleville is, as I said, it's really, it's not discussed a whole lot because it's a small enough entity going in over there that it's not a big factor. But of course it is a factor, but I know you're getting a cheaper rate than a homeowner would.
Right.
As a kind of a wholesale customer.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, Dan.
What I was gonna tell you, Bob, was that some of the developments in Pendleton, if they're on forced mains, we used to be able to go out and buy the grinder system from Fall Creek Regional Waste at a wholesale price, but you own it from there on out. So I think we were given $1,950 for a complete system, not installed, but you owned it at that point.
But the homeowner owned it, so if it broke down, the homeowner.
But you paid half the price for it when you bought it.
Well, I appreciate the fact that I'm one of the originals that's still covered by it and not grandfathered out. I like that, but as for the town, I don't really know whether we could sustain that. So we've got, I don't know how many, Mark would have that number, less than 200 people to take care of, and guys like me ain't gonna go away. I'm probably gonna die before long, but I'm gonna stay in Markleville, and they're gonna be paying for my sewer forever. That's what I'm trying to say, because I'm one of the original homeowners, and I don't know whether the town can sustain that or not. That's my point. I know a couple of over there have been hollering about this on my neck for years, that he's not on this system. He don't think it's right. He pays same sewer bill I do, and I can't really disagree with him a whole lot, you know, but we've got to solve that. And going back and talk about, you know, patching up what we're doing now, like in Chip's system over there, we had to have a piece special made. We couldn't even buy a piece for it. And we're gonna have to do something. Yeah, or, you know, that's what this discussion or the debate's about.
So are we the only ones that really have a grinder pump now? No.
They're all over Pendleton. They're everywhere, anywhere.
They've just been updated in our.
Selma's on grinder pumps. Selma's. And probably a lot of other small towns. That one I know.
Scott? Oh, okay. Well,
Can I make one comment about the fiscal side of it? Going back 10 years ago when I started tracking the balances, we are probably $20,000 more positive than we were 10 years ago. So we'll have a bad year, we'll have a good year, you know, depending on collections from customers and things like that. We're in no dire need right now. I'm just going to be clear with that as of today. Doesn't mean that we will need to be obviously addressing this, and I think it's a good conversation. We need to do something. But looking at the money and what we've spent over the years, you know, if this trend continues, then yes, we will be dipping into some of that. But as I see it right now, we are not any worse off than we were years ago. We're not.
We're not.
So the issue is the system itself, and yes, and they continue to break down, it's going to cost, but I want everybody to be assured that as of right now, we have the same amount of money, if not more, than we have for the last 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Financially, we're fine with the sewer department. There's not a bit of problem. What my conversation when I started with this was we got a $250,000 debt. We got a system that's starting to show problems. At the rate of payout, we're not going to get it paid off before the thing goes kaplunk. And that's what I wanted to start talking about was, what's your pleasure?
no, I agree. I just want to make sure that they didn't think.
Financially, we're fine
Thought they were-
today. We'll be financially fine next year. What about 10 years from today? I'm not that good.
Mark, let me ask you a question. If we were to hire a maintenance guy to do this, and to fix him and do all this and stuff, and pay him a salary, whatever, and let everybody pay for their own. In other words, the town not pay for guys like me, that I would have to pay for my own if we went out. What would that, and rates would stay the same, $41. That would put us in a very, very bad position.
Well, yeah, you're not going to have to pay $1,000 for a pump if one goes bad. I mean, that's a cost. You don't have to start doing that. You're going to pay for you got to pay the utility to somebody to do the billing. So assuming the clerk would be still that responsibility.
That's the
So if you pay somebody, to do the maintenance, you're avoiding the day-to-day having to go out and look at residents and dealing with that. All you've got are the cost of, again, maintaining the facilities, so the existing pipes are in the ground and the pumps. So I would think in the long run, you're going to make more money doing it that way. But again, you put that burden back onto the consumer versus the town. I think that's what we've always talked about. We don't want to do that, but we made a decision 10 years ago to start doing that. So if everybody sold their house today and somebody moved in new tomorrow, then it's taking care of itself. So I think as time goes on, people are going to move on, people are going to pass away, whatever you want to call it, and new residents are going to come in. So over time, how quickly is that going to occur based on, okay, we've had 2 really bad pumps. Well, I've had maybe 1 pump replaced since I've been there, and I don't recall it ever being replaced before. So is my house lucky they only had 1 pump in 25 years? Probably yes. But I don't know about everybody else. You've got one that goes bad, and we put in, I guess, manufactured pumps versus brand new pumps. How long are they going to last? So I don't have an answer, but I mean, I've got an opinion myself. But sure, find a utility to come buy it and get out of it. But that's not easy to
Yeah, having sat through this before, several different times, we end up with some repetitive questions that we never seem to have the answers for right at this point in time. And I'm wondering if it wouldn't be worthwhile to take some additional of Mark's time or open the books up to somebody else to take some time and say, for sure, how many people by number are still grandfathered in, how many people have been emancipated on their own. So we've got a piece of data and not a question. And how many pumps are we using per year over the last year, last 15, 20 years? I mean, we've been talking about this for over 10 years when you first emancipated new people coming in. So we ought to be able to say what our history is and get some idea how much money we're spending for household maintenance, and then you can make some better decisions. But coming in here and just asking questions, you aren't going to get instant answers. It's going to take some work by somebody spending several hours going through the books and coming up with the background.
That an offer?
I wouldn't mind doing it. It's not a big deal.
You need to have outside somebody do it. We're going to do it. We need to have a consultant take a look at it.
Hey, there you go. An offer refused. So there you go. I do a lot of work for free, but I'm not licensed to buy.
Don't go there. Bob, you had a question.
Okay, it seems to me, in talking about abandoning all the people and they're going to take over their own maintenance. We've already done that for part of them. They're no longer grandfathered in. Strange thing about that is, in order to live in Markleville, you have to be hooked up onto that sewer system. That means it's the town's responsibility, and the people that were taken off the list and no longer grandfathered in, they were mistreated on that. Because you have to have the damn sewer system in order to live in your house. I think we ought to be looking more at trying to get some maintenance on the sewer system in an effective way to prevent the repeated breakdowns that will come from the age system. And then we'll start looking also long-term planning on an eventual replacement, because it's going to have to be replaced in probably 10 more years. But you can have preventive maintenance, keeping it together while you were generating funds to do that. If you take us off the system now, wouldn't I have the option of hooking my septic field back up?
No,
Why not?
because the state won't allow you to do that. They won't allow you to hook up to a septic system. Just like Jack said, you go down Pelman, you're gonna pay for your sewer. It's part of your.
If my
Yes.
septic field is approved as doing the job from the county and from the state, you're gonna tell me I can't.
That's a
hook up
legal,
on it?
that's a legal question. John, I don't know, Bob. But I think the
I think
state
we
law
all
says,
know it is.
I think the state law says, don't quote me, that if you've got a sewer system within range, you've got to hook up to it. I think that's,
what
They
my mom
they've
always
changed that several times, differently. I think you have to be hooked up, but if you, the last I was aware of, if you have a working system, you know, a fairly new system, and a sewer is run by your house, as long as that system is still working, you do not have to hook up. But the minute it's not, you can't put in a new system if that one goes bad. Then you have to hook up. But they change that every 2 or 3 years. They change the distance you're from them and so forth. So I'm not okay.
you might be legally be able to do that, Bob. I don't know. I really don't.
But if it hasn't been used in 25 years,
Yeah, I'm not sure there's any law that says you can hook back up. Once you're hooked to the system, you're hooked.
Yes, Bob.
Well, you know, she mentioned that it hadn't been used for 25 years. Overall cost of maintaining the septic system on myself versus the cost of having that septic system cleaned out is going to be substantially less for me to clean it out. And I can happily run my septic system and the $41, since I'm not using it, why would I have to pay it? That was the rub on the original contract. They had to get everybody to pay it, so the people up in this area that didn't have room for a septic field could get a place for their sewage to be flushed to. And they brought all the rest of the town in to get the money to do it.
I don't know. I thought the state forced us to do that. I come to Sunday meeting. I think your mom and Everett Huntsinger and them was on the board, and I think the state forced us to do that.
They had about an 8-year period of time to study systems and come up to about the last 2 or 3 months when we accepted this. Now that's the way I remember it.
I sure don't remember what happened 25 years ago. That's for sure.
that's what she always said. It was
But I know
it
your
a
mom was the
state-
one that was, yeah, she always said that we had to do that. We didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
But I don't know that.
Yeah, Linda.
I was on the board with Sally when all that went down. Yes. It did come down to the last one that it had to be done, and there wasn't a choice, we had to pay a huge fine. So that's how we ended up with this system.
Yeah.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
Thank you, yes, Sam.
Is every business in town up to the sewer system now?
No, you're now getting at me, and no, I'm
No,
not.
I'm not asking about you, I asked if every business is up to the sewer right now.
To my knowledge.
Mark, there's a different rate on businesses, is that correct? And how do we judge those rates on businesses, how do you?
I think originally it was based on
Number of people?
number of people back when it was formulated, when this was put in.
So the churches pay higher than what the houses do also, is that correct?
The what?
And churches pay higher than the houses, the businesses pay higher.
How much does the church pay?
$47.50.
Does that answer the question? Thank you. One, we've got a motion on the floor. First of all, thank you for all for the discussion. Thank you all for, after I about broke my hand, regaining order. I appreciate it. We have a motion on the floor. Would you mind repeating your motion, Darlene?
I made a motion that we should look into having a sewer maintenance employee for the town, for the maintaining the lift stations, what needs done for the day-to-day maintenance on the sewers. And then to continue with Frederick's or Jerry's for the big problems.
I'll second it.
Okay, we've got a motion. You just heard it. Any discussion? Okay, there being no discussion, those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those against, likewise. The motion carries. Environmental report. Weeds, Kevin. We got citations or warnings issued again?
Yeah, it should say
Okay.
it's been issued.
Okay.
Was we gonna take bids for mowing?
Oh, yes, thanks for
This
reminding me.
goes along with our environmental.
Yeah. Mark, we have the one bid. Okay, open it. Thank you. It says this is bid form, we now mow and weed the yards in Markleville for $65 each. Solomon King and Sean King. That being the only bid, do I hear a motion?
I make a motion, we contract the mowing to,
For $65 a yard.
yeah, but now we don't pay that. It eventually comes back to us. Because these are just the people after Kevin writes them a ticket for not mowing. So eventually we get this money back.
Okay.
It goes 10 days, I think it is, after he writes the warning, 10 days, and then they will go in and mow it sometime subsequent to that. And then the charge gets put on their taxes.
Is that 65 regardless of size? So if I got a neighbor that doesn't take care of his 2-acre plot, he gets it for 65 as well? Well.
That's what he said. Yeah. I don't disagree with you.
Probably not a bad deal on average.
Yeah.
Averaged out, that'll be pretty good, I think.
But I just thought I'd clarify, some of them are sizes. But you get that.
Kevin, over on the road there going from, the Methodist church back. Saunders. I got a call, the one house that's back there, if you look at the road going back, the overgrowth from the knick-knack store there, whatever it is, and then associated from the other side of the fence, which I believe is Kirk's, it's going way out halfway in the road. That needs to be done. I mean, it needs to be whacked or whatever. But it's eating it up. It's all the way out in the road, and I mean halfway in the road.
And can we do something about the old liquor store? If it wasn't for my husband and Dave Dudley, it'd be a mess because they've mowed it ever since it's been abandoned. And now all the trees and the weeds around the building are growing up, and he's never maintained it for years.
He did that one year, was he had him some tickets and he ended up he cleaned that all up around there.
But since then, it's been my husband and Dave Dudley.
He needs some new tickets in.
Did you get that one the other day? Did you put one on it if it's needed?
Hang one on his front door. Kevin and Dave, they didn't quit doing it for him.
Well, I've tried to tell Kevin to stop,
Yeah, I
but
was
he
gonna
won't
say, as long as they
stop.
keep doing it, it's gonna be.
Well, he won't stop because then it looks awful. I know we should bill him. Kevin, yeah, he'll come here.
Whitney, you had a question?
Was there a summons written to the house next to the police department? Because if you look at the fence line, when I would walk in, and plus they have a kennel back there that has a dog with trees and weeds growing up around it that they don't take care of.
If it hasn't, I will work on it.
Okay.
You good? Thank you. Yes, Sam?
I'm speaking for this lady right here. Would you go ahead and say your name? For the record?
Lisa Einlaw.
Okay, she lives at 121 Pleasant Run. She has a ticket here for code violation 1991-1. Says high grass or weeds, $100. Did she get a warning before she got this ticket?
That is her warning ticket.
It does
It
not
is
say
a
it's a
warning
warning
ticket?
ticket. Does not have warning.
It's not what
on
it says on the ticket.
Here's where she also got her lawnmower. The grass was 8 inches. She got her lawnmower fixed. She's asking for that to be dropped. And here's the ordinances if you'd like to see them. Do you need them? Okay.
Gosh, I wonder who does that.
We just need to make sure they change it. But it's been mowed since you've got this.
Yes. Literally, I got the ticket. My lawnmower got back from the shop the next day. My lawnmower's been in the shop for 6 weeks. I've been borrowing lawnmowers every 3 weeks. We've been doing the best we can without a lawnmower.
Yeah.
You got me, but we have a vacant house next door. They went next door to ding the vacant house that got us because our grass was tall, but it wasn't 12 inches, so it was nowhere near 12 inches.
I don't have any
I got
problem.
one more question. I think it's pretty well solved with Kevin Allen saying that was a warning ticket. Can we get that on official
I just don't want
record
it.
that
I just
was,
don't
so
want
she
it to
can
go
have
to
to
the
pay?
board. Not board.
Well, as long as it's mowed within 7 days, or 10.
Project within 10 days, you do not have to pay tickets.
Yeah.
I don't think we need a motion on this, do we?
No, that was a warning ticket, Kevin. Then it's nothing to it.
It's on record.
It's nothing to it.
Don't worry about it.
You voted.
Thank you. That's all we ask.
You're welcome.
Did he make a motion about the bid for the mowing?
Yeah.
Didn't he make, we have it
We don't,
We gotta fix it. Or
We gotta fix it?
Not fix it, but do it.
add to
Somebody
it.
needs to second it? Need second?
Oh, that's all. You voted on, didn't we? Oh, yeah.
I don't think
On
I
the
know, because
mowing.
I didn't
No,
second.
I'm waiting on them.
We didn't? Oh, okay.
I made a motion.
I thought you made the motion.
But then then there was some questions,
Okay.
so I second the
Well, they
motion.
had discussion, okay.
Okay.
I second it.
You second it? Those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Attorney's report.
No report.
Yes, you do. You just don't know you do. I was approached this week by Mr. Harlan, who wanted to know the processes and actions associated with his desires to be de-annexed from town. I do not know of any official paper that was brought forth to de-annex.
I'm not aware of any pending nor prior.
Can you
Is
do
that the guy that brought down here a couple years ago before you was probably even on the
It was
board?
the first couple of months I
Remember
was
he
in.
went to the courthouse and he had some names wrote down on a paper that he wanted a petition to deact. And actually, you don't remember that case. What's the legal process for that? We went through this.
Yeah, I mean, whatever happened, I mean, either the town voted against it, or he didn't bring the petition proper, but I'm not aware of anything currently pending, so.
So we just table that idea, and if he brings it back forth?
No, I mean, it's over unless he brings something else.
Well, what is the legal thing on de-annexing him from town?
It's very difficult and goes back to the problem is that you would have to get a bunch of other homeowners, and you have to try to go through things with the county and the state, and it's a very complex process.
We will
Never heard tell.
wait for that to take its own action. Planning Commission,
No report.
comments by citizens. Yes.
I'm new to the town, but I tell you what, I don't know who did all the work, but the jamboree, those chicken and noodles were awesome. My kids love the light show. I mean, to see a small town like this with that many people at an event, and there was some awesome stuff there. I don't know who deserves a hand, but I'll tell you what, we even drove all the way back from our lodge's pool party just to get back Saturday night to watch the light show again. So it was a great
John,
time,
Holmes,
so.
Wayne.
John and Wayne's still there.
Stand up.
Did you get
Come
any
on,
report?
John.
You just said you didn't have
No,
anything.
I just sitting here trying to
We
cipher all
passed
this
it.
information.
He didn't give
Have you
us,
got anything to say?
You skipped.
Well, yeah, I would just like to thank everybody that helped with the jamboree. We got lucky with the weather. We had a real nice 3 days of weather. The only problem we have this year, for whatever reason, we were kind of short on money. We didn't have as many donations as we had last year. We lowered the price of some of the rides so we can make it more affordable for people. And so we're kind of in a state of flux here about the money, because we spent $3,000 for the laser show. We spent $2,800 for the zip line and the stunt jump and the jumpy houses. And we've been real lucky the last couple, 3 years to stay pretty even, but this year, a matter of fact, we had like 8 people in the Prince and Baby contest, and there was a couple of them that didn't hardly have any money in it. And that's one of our only ways to make money. I know Allison only had like 2 people in the baking contest, and for whatever reason, we were kind of short on that kind of stuff. So I just want the board to be aware that, we're kind of fishing here for money.
But the
We're-
town,
Jamboree's about broke.
the town usually donates money every year for that prior to the jamboree happening.
They have.
How much is the town
We don't
always?
donate, it comes out of the park. Budget is.
They don't really donate, they give us money.
Oh,
Money that's
oh,
already
okay.
budgeted.
How much you said we had, like 16,000 in the park donations?
Well, that's
When you were-
separate,
Yeah, there's,
That's separate.
separate, but
yeah.
yeah.
And also, I don't know how many people noticed the gazebo, but we are selling bricks in that gazebo. If anybody's interested, the swings are up, the bell's up. We're going to pour an apron around the outside, and then there'll be a piece of stone in the middle, and the bricks will be around the stone. And we're selling those bricks. You can have 3 lines, 16 characters a line. If anybody's interested, I got the papers here tonight. We probably have right now about 30 people that's probably already purchased those. We will be taking those to Muncie at Worley Monuments. They will do the engraving. And so I think he's charging us $35. We're charging $50, and the other 15 will go into the donations. So if anybody's interested, I know a lot of them are for people that's passed away. There's probably people that's been members down there, and if anybody would like to purchase that brick, they can see me after the meeting, and I'll be glad to give them a paper they can fill out, put whatever. Just you can't write a whole bunch of stuff on there. It has to be 16 characters, 3 lines. So, but it'll go in next week. So on the paper we have the 17th, which is our park board meeting next Monday, but we probably won't send that in until the end of next week. So that'll give people time if they want to purchase those things. And I know we've had a real good, so far, we've had a lot of people want it. So we'll see how it works out.
Thank you,
Our
Wayne.
meeting's next Monday at 7, and anybody's welcome.
Any more comments?
Do you have any numbers, Wayne? Money numbers of what you need? I mean, what we
Well,
were talking about
I'm
on
right
the,
off the top of my head, we spent about 58. We probably brought in 3, so we're about 3 or 4 behind.
can you have an exact number next meeting?
Yeah, because I got bills. People will be bringing me bills. We still
Next
got bills.
meeting.
Yeah.
If you have an exact number,
We'll have it. I'll have it.
Yeah.
And will that Jen Hathcote, is she,
Well, she's supposed to come to the meeting Monday.
okay,
Because she came to the meeting last month, and basically it's a lot of generalities, about food. Now, I was asked a question at the Jamboree about where it would be located. I want everybody to understand that they're talking about putting it right to the west of the existing ball diamond. So it wouldn't be close to the houses back there. It would be right to the west. They will move the ball diamond that's there now. They will move the fences in. I think it's 20 feet, and they will put the other one right beside it.
Like with the backstop to the outfield of the existing one, or the,
I was gonna find out. I don't know about how it's going.
She's just running a general drawing.
Yeah, she's supposed to bring a drawing Monday, so we'll see. But we'll see how that works out.
Thank you, Wayne.
Yeah.
Unfinished business.
Yes. I talked to Tom Schubert down Triad Associates a couple times last week or two and told him that we were going to still try to get the county to get in on this bridge. It's 82,000 and change for the 2 bridges, the one here on State Street and the one over the county ditches. And he said that he knew that was a long process, and he's got a couple of guys that have actually been involved with that, with other towns. And he said he would have them write up a report or get with me and try to see where we could go with that, with the county. And John, can you ask around up there and see where we're at on that, with the county and these ditches, 2 bridges? You know, you said one time you thought that was a long, drawn-out process, and that's about what he told me, the engineer.
Yeah, I mean, they told me that a representative had to start going to the different meetings, and then they gave me a whole bunch of meetings that representatives, and that was several years ago, and I told you, and you had already been attending.
We'd already been.
Yeah, and you'd already been attending, and they wanted you to start all over.
Okay, well, let's, can you get a list of those, or would I need to go up to the courthouse to do that? Because these 2 bridges are $82,000 and change. 50 for this one and 32 for the other, or vice versa, anyway. $82,000, and that's...
I can ask.
That's gonna be, yeah, if you can find that information, we could, maybe start that process. It probably won't be a quick process, but maybe if we could get the county to...
It's fine.
Yeah. And I know that I used 2 or 3 people said that if you start messing with it, then it's yours.
We want that
County
clearly
mess with
defined.
it, yeah. I'd still like to know who put the one there at your house, where the state done that or the county?
State.
State done it for the state road. That's not good. I was hoping you'd say the county. But anyway, that's where we're at. If you could find that out, I can start that process over, because that's $82,000.
After
Fine.
It's hard to come up with.
That's fine.
sewer employee.
That was all, but I am staying in contact
tell
with
them to do
them.
it.
The 2 guys might be able
New business.
Yes,
What you got?
I need your approval to allow the county to administer the election in November.
Make a motion, we approve the town hall for the county elections in November.
I second it.
Motion's been made, allow the county to run the elections in the fall. Any discussion? There being no discussion, those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed likewise. Motion carries. That being it, folks, the only thing we have to do is sign bills.
Sign bills, motion for adjournment.
Motion for adjournment.